Hello and welcome to another episode of What in the Lore, and in today's episode, as for all the requests for it, I am doing the Grand Companies of Eorzea. Yay, there's cheering and stuff going on, it's fantastic. Now, because there isn't a lot of information on them, other than what we know from 1.0, and since 2.0 is literally just right around the corner, I'm going to keep this video very short and concise about like the general overview and the backstory for the three grand companies. In this video, there is going to be a couple images that I'll have up on screen, but I will also be hosting these on Imgur, so you guys are able to check them out in a much wider view, so you can actually read the information that is on them. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with a brief overview of what the Grand Companies are and the whole overview of the game. The Grand Companies are a feature added in patch 1.17 of Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 and set for expansion on the following patches. It revolves around the three companies of Ul'dah, Limsa Lominsa, and Gridania, groups formed by the city-states in times of danger to form a cohesive command center in order to prepare for said threat. For thousands of years, Eorzea has been victim to a catastrophic cycle of destruction and rebirth that periodically envelops the realm and threatens all who live upon her soil, each time faced with a tragedy seemingly worse than the last. However, the peoples of Eorzea have found some way to preserve. One method, seemingly going back hundreds of generations, has been the establishment of comprehensive command centers which combine the military, economic, and technological resources of a city-state in order to better prepare it for the coming doom. These are the Grand Companies of Eorzea. The last record of emergence of the Grand Companies was nearly 1,500 years ago, at the end of the 5th Astral Era and the arrival of the Great Deluge, which triggered the dark period known as the 6th Umbral Era. It was through these companies that the warring city-states were able to put aside their bitter differences and join together to form an alliance and ensure the realm survived. With the recent attacks by the Garland Empire seen as an imminent threat to the realm, there have been scattered talks of restoring the Grand Companies to their former glory, but conflicting agendas on all sides have slowed progress. That is, until the appearance of an adventurer who set in motion the wheels of hope. Now let's take a look at each of the Grand Companies. The first one is the Maelstrom. At the heart of the thalassocratic navy lies the Lominsian Armada, composed of 9 independent squadrons, the 1st through the 9th. The Maelstrom is an extension of the 1st Squadron, expanding its role as the Armada flagship and granting it power to administer not only the remaining 8 squadrons, but the various merchant fleets that navigate the seas off Valbrand. With the re-establishment of the Maelstrom, the Admiral has also begun to move to invoke ancient maritime law, by which she would promote herself to Chief Admiral, effectively expanding her authority to cover not only state and military dealings, but grant her the power to directly command all ships in Lominsian waters, and freely punish any who disobey. Needless to say, the city-states pirates are not about to take this encroachment on their freedom without a fight. The Maelstrom is led by Admiral Blosfin, and personally, I like the Maelstrom the best out of all three, but that's just me. Up next, we have the Order of the Twin Adder. The Order of the Twin Adder establishes a medium from which the Seedseers can return from their wanderings deep within the Black Shroud and directly oversee not only the safety of Gridania's citizens, but the workings of the local guard, both the God's Quiver, who defend the forest from external threats, and the Wood Whalers, who protect it from internal strife, have expressed their support of this temporary measure. There are, however, those within Gridania who would question the ability of the Seedseers, whose duties until now have been limited to various ritualistic proceedings, and doubt whether or not they are fit to lead a nation into war. The Order of the Twin Adder is led by Elder Seedseer Connie Senna. And last, the Immortal Flames. Currently, the bulk of Ul'dah's military strength comes from the standing army of mercenaries and the small contingents of the palace guard known as the Sultansworn. To bring order to their ranks and oversee additional wartime training, the Sultana has considered resurrecting the Immortal Flames, an elite force of battle-hardened veterans that once instilled fear in the city-states' neighboring nations during ages past. This unit would act as a core aspect of the army, essentially bolstering its power and in effect grant more authority to the Sultana and her advisors, something of which those in control of the city-states economy, namely the Syndicate, are wary of. The Immortal Flames Grand Company is led by the Flame General, Rubalin Alden, And as I said at the beginning of this little video, is that the images that are on screen are also going to be hosted on Imgur, so you can click on the links down below to see a higher res of the photo so you don't have to strain your eyes in the video. But that is it for this episode of What in the Lore. I covered the grand companies very briefly in this video. Now what I do plan on doing in a future video is actually breaking down each of the grand companies and giving them their own dedicated video, because there's a lot of stuff that goes on between key NPCs that are a part of that grand company and what their involvement is, as well as their philosophies and such. The reason today's video is not that is because 2.0 is literally right around the corner, and it brings with it a wealth of new information that would be greatly appreciated, I know, by you, the viewers. So I don't want to go and just give you all old 1.0 information that is subject to change with 2.0. But that's it for me today, guys. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, tweet, favorite. If you have any suggestions for the videos themselves or requests, by all means post it down below in the comment section, or you can send me a message over YouTube and I will gladly get on it as soon as possible. So until next time, may the blessing of the 12 be with you.